Well, Tom, according to the National Labor Relations Board, filings have increased more than 50% so far this fiscal year. That's compared to last. Now, one U of L law professor tells us this younger generation has been the driving force. There were no signs or chants inside the Factory Lane Starbucks in East Jefferson County Monday. Instead, Fern Potter says there were simple, quiet discussions about how to show support.
Putting the name for your order as Solidarity or Union Strong or anything along those lines.
Potter is a shift supervisor at the coffee shop and a union organizer in the effort that culminated in a 19-5 majority vote among workers in May. Today, they participated in what they called a sip-in, inviting the community to be a part of it.
Get a message across to, management and to our baristas that there are people in this community that are willing to support them and stand up with them.
Outside of Starbucks, more than a dozen Heine Brothers locations have pushed for an election, as well as Sunnergo's Coffee and half-price books in the East End, just to name a few.
COVID really has had people think about work differently.
It's part of what experts call a clear rise in petitions across the U.S.
It's about at least double the amount of elections that unions have won in the first half of 2022 as comparing to the first half of 2021.
U of L law professor Ariana Levinson says Louisville is no exception.
People modeling what they're doing on what others they know have done. We were having labor shortages and product shortages. It was a moment in which they had a little more leverage.
Now comes the question, will this rise last and for how long? Levinson says it'll depend on several factors, including how new contract negotiations play out and midterm elections, and of course, the state of the economy.
When the next recession hits, then workers are going to be much more reluctant to organize.
Now, the Starbucks on Veterans Parkway in Clarksville, Indiana, that location was the first union shop in the state. It had its sit-in over the weekend. Now, according to the National Labor Relations Board, unfair labor practice charges have also increased nearly 15% so far this fiscal year. Tom.